Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me to another thrilling episode of This Week in Real Estate. So hopefully I have some good information for you, maybe some funny stories every now and then. So appreciate you tuning in. But we'll get right to it, to the market report. So we saw a little bit of movement. So Delaware County jumped up in active listings from below 100 last week to about 118 as of right now. And that's ever evolving, if you will. And then, so pendings also were about the same at 154 pending. And then Randolph County was about the same across the board. So 23 active listings with 47 pending, and movement in between those and closed kind of throughout the week. So that's the quick snapshot. On to the good, the bad, and the ugly. So a lot of good things this week. So if you remember last week, so I'm sure you tuned in, we had a new listing on New York Street here in Farmland, and that one saw multiple offers, got that one pending, and so inspections are tomorrow, I believe, and then after that will be the appraisal, and hopefully close that out here in another 20 to 30 days, depending on how long those two things take. And then also got a buyer of mine, a buying client, pending also in Farmland on a different property, so super excited for her. And again, inspections are coming up, and we will view those and negotiate those as necessary. And then did a few more kind of broker price opinions this week. Just yesterday was one for an estate, a couple different properties for them, so they can take it to their estate attorney and present it to the court for their purposes. So kind of wrapped that one up yesterday. And then if you look at a couple posts ago, so the new video series, which I hope you enjoy, is kind of the Curtis Book Report, and a couple of those videos have been out. And if you haven't checked those out, you know, they're a quick 2 minutes, which I'll be honest is kind of hard for me to keep something kind of brief and to the point. And choking, it's so exciting. So those books range from a lot of business book stuff that you may find boring, but I enjoy reading, and then some other just fun books that I read and pick up along the way. So check those videos out if you haven't already. And then some other things going on this past week. So doing some minor work on a couple of our rentals, and nothing terribly frustrating with those yet. I'm sure I'll get there when I miscut something or order the wrong color of something or don't measure something correctly. That's bound to happen. So at this point, you just chalk it up and say, it's going to happen, so get over it. And then we also got all our baseball in this week, which was kind of surprising because of some of the storms earlier on in the week and some of the heat that we've seen. So everybody played safe, and we got all the baseball and softball in, so that was all very good. Moving on to the bad. The bad is Shockley Road. We have a property over there listed for sale, and no fault of the property or the owners or anything like that. It just hasn't been going very well. So we had an offer, very first thing, and multiple offers. Chose one, and they simply backed out. They lost their earnest money deposit. We put it back on the market. We got 4 offers this time, and chose one of those offers, and I can say this has never happened to me in any regard, either helping buying or sell something. But the very next day, the person buying it unfortunately lost their job, and so I've never really run across something like that happening, you know, so quickly. So I feel real bad, honestly, for the buyer, because I guess they've been looking for months and months for a home, and they finally found one that they really liked, and, you know, life threw them a curveball. So yes, it stinks for my seller, if you will, and you know, for me not being able to sell the house that we wanted to. But man, I feel real bad for that other person's client that you know, things in a major way haven't worked out. You know, we'll end up selling this house to somebody, so that's not a big concern per se, but you know, the bad part of the story is someone losing their job, and then in turn losing the house that they wanted. So that pretty well stinks. But on to the ugly. So the ugly is the heat wave currently, and it doesn't look like it's going to slow down. Well, slow down a little bit for the weekend and then ramp back up. But we were this week for a couple days cataloging another real estate and personal property auction, and it was rather warm, so no air in the house, which it wasn't too bad in the house, except when you got to the sunroom, which was ridiculously hot. And then they have some outbuildings as well that we were going through, and not a lot of air movement. So we stayed very well hydrated, but still very ugly, sweating all everywhere for the middle part of the day. So anyways, coming up, so there's a new listing coming out. It'll be out early next week. It's a country home in Jay County, and it is basically super amazing, I guess. The pictures were taken today, and so I'm excited to see those and how they came out. I'm sure they're fine, but a lot of good things happening on this property, and excited to tell you about it when it's actually listed early next week. And then recording another podcast tomorrow. It'll be my second recording with Jennifer Mertland is her name, and it's the Real Estate Fight Club podcast, and so we're going to be duking it out over a couple issues, and so recording that tomorrow. Not sure when it comes out, probably here in a few weeks or something. And then, like I mentioned before, we do have we'll actually have a couple real estate auctions kind of going on, but the one I just mentioned will be coming onto the market and or about mid next week or so. So that's coming up. And then on the personal side of things, we have camps are upon us at Quaker Haven Camp, where we go. And so Solomon and myself will be going up this weekend, and we'll probably cross Abram on the road as we come back, and he goes there for the week. And then the following week, Rachel goes up there. And then Lydia's turn is about the mid-July, so she'll wait a few weeks before she goes up there. So always love camp. Looks like it's going to be a warm one, and they'll deal with that accordingly. But super excited for Solomon and I to go up there, spend some time together, have fun, and then Abram to go up next week, and then Rachel to go up the next week. And so yeah, that'll be fun. And that's what's coming up. So once again, appreciate you guys taking a look at these videos, and if you ever need anything, have any comments, leave those below and I will respond accordingly. So until next time, we will see ya.